Let's start by taking a look at this article from Kotaku, which I imagine that there's no way that this is an actual real argument. This has to be just straight up fucking clickbait, which is what Kotaku does, right? Kotaku gonna do what Kotaku gonna do. Diablo Immortal is far too good to be free. Every single thing that is said in that first sentence is wrong.
If only I
For starters,
could be so grossly incandescent.
Diablo Immortal is not that
This
good.
isn't the Blizzard that inspired me to become a game designer. It hurts me a lot to see them destroy such a legacy.
You and a lot of people, Ken Dark Revan. Thank you very much for being gross and get this for 3 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. I completely agree. I was also inspired, by Blizzard. That's the reason why I took comp sci. It's disgusting, but yeah, here's the thing. Diablo Immortal is not that good to begin with. It is at best mildly mediocre. Like not even mildly mediocre, like poorly mediocre, like on the lower end of mediocre. And then it's like, it's too good to be free. It's not free. It's 100% not free. If you think that this is a free-to-play game, you're living in fucking La La Land, dude. When you don't pay for the content, you are the content. It's just that simple. That's the way it goes. We sit down to chat about Blizzard's latest RPG after playing it for the past week. Last week, Blizzard launched Diablo Immortal, the next entry in this long-running, loot-driven action RPG franchise. However, unlike previous games, this one's free to play. And it was built from the ground up to be a mobile game. First, while it did also come out on PC last week, the reality is this is a very different kind of Diablo. Between being a phone title, having a free-to-play style in-app purchases, and being part of popular legacy franchise, it's created a large debate about the game and its true cost. Kotaku staff writer Zach Zweisen and editor John Walker have both been playing, so got together to chat about the game, how much they're enjoying it, and why it might not be the evil, money-sucking monster some have claimed. At the very least, it's a perfect way to kill some time while watching old episodes of The Simpsons. Okay, sure. I guess that's the level of engagement that you want from your video games. John Walker, how many previous Diablos have you played? I played a lot of Diablo 3 and its expansion, and some Diablo 2. Well, that explains a lot. When you say a lot, do you mean you got to the point of playing online with a regular group until it accidentally became your full-time unpaid job? Well, not that much. I did, however, buy and play it on 3 different platforms across at least 250 hours. It's impressive you weren't turned, into one of them. The fuck is that supposed to mean? You didn't turn, you didn't become one of them. Anyway, I played a bunch of all of them, but never properly. I've always approached them as single-player RPGs, something to aimlessly click on while watching a crummy TV show, and absolutely love them for that. Same. Back in the prime of my Diablo 3 days, I'd burned through podcasts and long YouTube video essays while killing thousands of demons and skeletons. It was the perfect thing to combo with another piece of entertainment, assuming I didn't want to focus on either entirely, and Diablo Immortal has started to fill a similar role in my life. Me too, except I keep finding myself teaming up with other people. Disgusting, John. I thought you were better than that. I hate doing that normally. As soon as other people are playing, I become certain they all hate me and I'm ruining the game for them. But here, I both don't care and clearly aren't. This has also been my experience when I play with others in Immortal. Usually, we just plow through a dungeon, creating a mess of particles and fire that causes my iPad battery to weep softly as it quickly dies. So here's an interesting thing. Notice how they're talking about teaming up with other people, but nobody is bringing up the fact that if you go into a Elder Rift and you happen not to have crests, a lot of people will actually just leave the group. If you don't put up crests when you go into Elder Rift, people will leave the groups. Yet somehow these guys are having a completely flawless experience playing with other players, with randos. Yes, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're not experiencing the thing that I've experienced of constantly getting groups canceling out due to the fact that 1 or 2 people weren't putting up crests. Yes, I'm sure this is fine. And then we part without even a goodbye, cheap, meaningless rating, the best kind. Yeah, it really is. I never felt like I need to look up a guide or yell at anyone for messing up. We all get the assignment without voice chat, can quickly pull it off. Good shit. Yeah, you want to know why? You want to know why you all get the assignment without voice chat, you can quickly pull it off? Because the game is fucking piss easy. Because the game is fucking piss easy. There is literally not a single ounce of challenge in this game. You know, which is to be expected because with the inferior controls of a fucking mobile touchscreen, it's not like Blizzard can put in any form of challenge, because if they do, what's going to happen is the mobile players are not going to be able to overcome it because the fat finger. Oh no, because mobile phones are a fucking terrible way to control video games. Who'd have thought? Who'd have fucking thought that a touchscreen is a terrible way to control a fucking video game? It is so fucking bad. Jesus Christ. But you know, yeah, you all get the assignment without voice chat. You can quickly pull it off. Yeah, because it's piss easy. It's almost impossible to die in the fucking game to begin with. Even in the raid. Like, I think I died the first time I did the raid. That's because I literally stood in everything that the boss did. I didn't dodge a damn thing because that's what I was doing throughout most of the game. You don't actually have to dodge anything. The game doesn't actually, you know, challenge you in any meaningful way. I'm playing it like all the time, both my PC then picking it up right where I left off on my phone. Dude, this sounds like a fucking advertisement. I'm having a great time with it, and the more I'm enjoying it, the more I'm convinced that people who vociferously like Diablo must surely hate it. Because diehard Diablo people, as if we're some kind of like fucking lepers that need to be put in a goddamn island. Because diehard Diablo people usually hate anything I love. Like my wife and son. What the fuck? Wait. What the fuck, dude? Like, dude over here just said I hate his wife and son. What the fuck, dude? I don't hate your wife, John. And I hope your son grows up to be a healthy boy. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Why would I hate your wife, John? Why are you even bringing your wife into this? What the fuck is going on? Like my wife and son. Diehard Diablo people hate my wife and son. Jesus Christ. I have kids too, John. I hope you like my kids too, man. Like, what the fuck? Keep your wife and kids out of this. Like, this. I gotta be honest, this sentence almost makes it seem like he's using his wife and child as a shield. He is using his wife and child as a fucking shield. Holy shit, dude. All right. But John, I've been told by folks online that Diablo Immortal is actually bad and evil, that it will steal your bank account or something. Dude, this is so fucking disingenuous. This is so fucking... Dude, this guy probably thinks that, oh yeah, I hear casinos are real stand-up institutions that really care about their customers. Yes, Zach, exactly. Gambling really cares about its customers, Zach. It's totally not a problem. No, it's perfectly fine, dude. Like, what in the actual fuck? It will steal your bank account or something. Yes, it will. For people that are vulnerable to the types of psychological manipulation tactics that this game is employing, you're goddamn right it'll steal your bank account. Because there's people that are actual... These guys just straight up completely take away the mental pressures, the peer pressures, and just like the mental fortitude that some people have. You understand that a large portion of gamers are basically like, you know, people who live in isolation because they're, you know, they just don't have the same social skills that a lot of other people have. Like, I'm not even exaggerating because I've been in that position. When I used to game, like when I was a lot younger, my social skills were completely inept. I did not know how to actually talk to people. I'm not making a fucking meme here. This is just the truth. I eventually grew out of that. But one of the reasons why I spent so much time playing video games when I was younger is precisely because, you know, I was kind of like a shut-in. I was completely isolated. You know, you wouldn't think about that nowadays because, you know, I'm a streamer. I do all of this content online and all of this bullshit. But yeah, I was. And I would be I'm lucky that when I was growing up, this type of shit didn't exist yet because I would be their prime fucking target. I would be their prime fucking target for targeting with all of these, you know, psychological manipulation bullshit that they have in this game. But Zach over here is going to say that, no, there's no psychological manipulation. The 800% value actually is 800% value. 570% value, same thing. The reason why Prodigy's path only shows up after you get to level 45, that's not about manipulating you psychologically after they've already gotten some money out of you and gotten the, whatchamacallit, after they've gotten your sunken cost fallacy to a certain extent and you feel pressured and easily manipulated into spending more money. Dude, fuck this guy, dude. This guy's an idiot. Have you at any point felt like you needed to pay for anything? No, I've definitely seen some ads pop up and the game isn't shy about that stuff, like pestering you that a cheap chest is on sale. But hours and hours into the game, level 32 or something like that, I never hit a paywall. Now, as someone who's played a lot of mobile games in my life, that is not always the case. You haven't hit a paywall because the first XP wall's at level 35. This guy is actually about to hit an XP wall. Why has Blizzard just made this whole game for free? I don't know. I keep thinking about how this game with a few changes could easily be a $40 thing. And yet if you just want to play the story of Diablo Immortal and run some raids online, you can do all of that for nothing. Oh yeah, the story of Diablo Immortal, which is a fantastic story that doesn't fucking end. It's a fantastic story that basically takes a dump all over the story of Diablo 2, because that's the thing to do. You know, you're not supposed to respect Why is English not my native language? Jesus Christ. You're not supposed to respect the subject matter that you are drawing inspiration from to create. Actually, you're not even drawing inspiration from. You're straight up making a new entry in the franchise. You're not supposed to respect the subject matter. You just take a dump all over it. It's like, yeah, Tyrael was a dumbass. You remember when he broke the World Stone? Yeah, that was a dumbass move. Look at what he did. Caused the entirety of Diablo Immortal. Somehow the shards of the World Stone gave everybody incredible amounts of power. Why? We don't fucking know. Did Tyrael think about this? No, because he's a dumbass. Tyrael's a dumbass. Everybody knows it. It's like, dude, come on. Come the fuck on, dude. Why don't you listen, Zach, here's what you got to do, okay? Why don't you take your mouth out of Bobby Kotick's dick and go brush your teeth? Okay, Zach? What level are you at? I'm level 51, and I am a shadow. Have you spent any money in... Wait a minute. Shouldn't have said that, John. John, you shouldn't have said that. John here just made a mistake. You see, in order to be a shadow, you have to win the lottery. You have to win the equivalent of an in-game lottery. Now, I wonder, what are the chances of John over here, who's supposedly playing the game casually, just happens to win the lottery to become a shadow? Oh, man. Oh, well. Eesh. What's a shadow? There's a thing about the eternal conflict. I didn't actually participate in this content. There's a thing about the eternal conflict, which is there's the shadows and then there's immortals. And then in order to join the shadows, there's a lottery, and you can, if you participate in that lottery, I think it's up to 1,000 players can participate at any given time. I don't know how many of those players are picked to win the lottery. I don't think it's going to be that many. But basically, you have to win the lottery in order to become a shadow. And Homeboy over here is supposed to be playing this from a casual standpoint to just log on online and, you know, do a couple of raids, somehow manage to become a shadow. That is very interesting, John. I wonder how much Blizzard had to do with you being a shadow. I'm very curious about that. And have you spent any money in game because you needed to or felt like it was the only way to move forward? Never. I paid for a battle pass. Also known as I am full of shit. I paid for a battle pass because I've never done that before in any game and wanted to know what would happen. John, my guy, my man, I am so sorry. Listen, I need that clip of the guy that goes like, why you always lying? Why you always lying? Dude just paid for a battle pass because he had never done it before. He had never done it before. He wanted to know what would happen. He just wanted to know what would happen if he paid for that battle pass. Aw, damn. I'm so proud of you. The grumpy old man can evolve. As for buying stuff in game, I know that if you want the best of the best gear and the items and stuff you'll need to win in PvP and top the leaderboards, you'll likely need to fart over a lot of money. But I just don't care about any of that. See, guys, because he doesn't care about it, it's okay. If you cared about it, then it wouldn't be okay. But because he doesn't care about it, we're all just a bunch of evil people that hate. Is it John or Zach's wife and son? I forget. One of you guys. We're all just evil people that hate his wife and son because we care about everybody else having a good experience and, you know, just enjoying themselves. But because he doesn't care about that and he doesn't mind about his character being a mediocre piece of dog shit, then it's fine. As we established, this is a game that I play when I'm watching YouTube old Simpsons episodes, so all the anger around it has confused me. You don't have to spend $100,000 in this game, as that one YouTuber alleged, I promise. Yeah, the game just doesn't seem to want me to have paid for any of that to do any with... The game just doesn't seem to want me to have paid for any of that to do anything that it has offered so far. So say in a couple of days I hit some sort of endgame wall. Shadows versus Immortals, I think it's about. And to take part in all that bullshit, I'd need the best equipment. I'd say, yay, I finished this extraordinary detailed free game. I swear people have no fucking standards. They just don't have any fucking standards. They just don't have any. Because, like, this is that same argument of people that are like, beneath all the microtransactions, there's a really good Diablo game in here. Oh, there's a really good Diablo game in here. No, there's not. The game's not good. Trust me. I've played it for several hours. It's not good. Not to mention that homeboy over here that says he never felt the need to pay for any money for the game, and he says he reached level 51. I'm very curious to know how you busted past the level 35 XP wall, the level 40 XP wall, the level 51 XP wall. How did you bust past all of those walls? You never felt any need to pay money. Interesting. Because I felt the need to pay money the second I reached the level 40. Well, not the level 40 wall, because I grinded a little bit before the level 40 wall. But I definitely felt the need at level 51. I was like, holy shit, because I was grinding a lot. And even with what I was grinding, I was 5 levels away from 51 with nothing to do. With nothing story-wise to progress, with no easy way to progress. That's when I was like, yeah, you know, if I had the battle pass, the proper battle pass with a couple of levels, yeah. Anyways, let's keep going here. Right, I'm at the same point. If the awesome free game stops letting me play after 30 hours or whatever, I'll just move on and enjoy something else. Yeah, you know what the problem is here, Zach? Let me tell you what the problem is here, Zach, right? The problem is that you don't give a fuck about Diablo. That's it. Because, like, you need to understand, this game comes out with a Diablo name. Clearly, it's going. The whole idea is to appeal to the Diablo fan base. And both of you two jackasses that are sitting over here insulting this fan base, which, by the way, I should add, this fan base that has been completely ignored and shat upon by Blizzard over the last decade or so. You come in here and you take a dump all over this fan base after the creators of the game have taken multiple dumps all over this fan base, and you somehow manage to act all superior like the assholes you are and just say, why do people care? It's like, listen, why are people passionate about literally anything? Why should people be passionate about anything? Why don't we just not care about everything. You know? It's like, listen, like for instance, imagine that you... Okay, that one was going to sound really wrong, so I probably shouldn't say that because that's going to sound like a fucking threat. Which I don't want it to. But imagine somebody, like imagine I'm going through the street and somebody that's next to me falls down and hurts themselves. Why the fuck should I care? Fuck, it's just another person on the street. I don't know them. I won't remember them tomorrow. Why the fuck should I care? Why should we care about literally anything? Why should people be passionate about literally anything? Why should people be passionate about video games? Why should people be passionate about the franchise they're passionate about? You shouldn't. You shouldn't be attached to anything. This is the problem that I have with a lot of these people. Because like their arguments are so fucking vapid. Their whole thing, it's like that argument of, it's just a game, bro. Which you can say about literally anything. You know, it's like, oh, a car crash in the middle of the road. It's just a car crash. It's not like it doesn't happen every day. Who gives a fuck? The war on Ukraine is just a war. Who cares? Right? COVID, it's just an epidemic. Who cares? Not like it hasn't happened in the past before. Why be passionate about literally anything? Why be compassionate about anything? Why care about the Diablo fan base? Fuck them. Who cares if they're, invested into this franchise? Fuck them. Why care about Star Wars? Fuck the Star Wars fan base as well while we're at it. Fuck everybody. Because it's all just one big joke for them. Oh, these people are saying the game is evil. Oh, stealing money from you. Oh, I'm so smart. It's so oitis. Thank you very much for being grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dude, it's so fucking dumb. It's so fucking dumb. This all reminds me of how some folks will waste days or weeks playing games they hate that they find broken or unfair or bad, and I just wish some people would realize that it's okay to hit a wall and move on. Not everything needs to be min-maxed and perfected. You don't always need to get the best of the best and win the whole thing. You can just move on. Yeah, you see, Zach, that's why you're just like... Nah, I'm not gonna go there. It's whatever. Zach over here doesn't actually give a fuck about video games. He probably would rather be writing for a political outlet or something like that. But video games was the best that he could do. So he basically got a job in something that he actually doesn't give two fucks about. Which is why it's very easy for him to type out something like this and just go like, why do people care? Yeah, you don't understand because you don't care. And you'll never understand, Zach. You'll never understand. In your whole life, you might live an entire life and you will never understand why people actually care about video games. And that's okay. That's fine. But then again, maybe you shouldn't be writing about them if you don't fucking understand the core audience that you are writing articles towards. Because, who the fuck is this article designed for? Like, I'm just curious. Clearly, you are rage baiting the Diablo fan base, right? That's the whole point of this. Diablo Immortal is far too good to be free. Clearly, you want people who like Diablo to read this article, and you want to rage bait them into being all mad and upset about the bullshit that you're typing here. And why do you want to do that? Because you don't care. That's the problem with this fucking industry. A lot of you fucking people just don't care. And maybe you should. Maybe for once in your goddamn lives, maybe you should. Because you're writing articles for an audience that clearly does care. And maybe you should consider that before you open your mouths. But, clearly you've got Bobby Kotick's, what was the way that Stephen Colbert, was it Stephen Colbert? No, it wasn't Colbert, it was the other guy. It was one of the other night show guys. I forget his name. But basically the way that he said how Trump was Putin's cock holster, whatever, Trump's mouth. That's you, Zach. Your mouth is Bobby Kotick's cock holster. Does that joke work? I think that joke works. Why has Blizzard just made this whole game for free? I don't know. I keep thinking. Oh wait, no, we're further down. It's like a Happy Meal toy that's surprisingly decent. Yes, I love the idea of an entry into the Diablo franchise being compared to a McDonald's Happy Meal. That makes everything better. You're not going to play with it forever, but you didn't throw it out that same day. And yet there are people reading this who will leave angry comments below saying we are shills or ruining gaming. Oh, you definitely are. And you are ruining gaming, whether you want to believe it or not. Because here's the interesting thing, right, Zach? both you and John, you don't understand why people like playing Diablo. You don't understand that the main reason why people play Diablo is to min-max their characters. That's kind of like the point of the game. That is the core loop of the game, and that is why people want to play the game. And the fact that you are basically trying to normalize what Diablo is doing is creating a worse game for everyone involved here, which means that most likely Diablo 4 will feature a lot of the same things that we see here in this game, and, you know, Diablo fans will eventually get a worse game. But this doesn't matter to you because you don't care. You just don't care. You're just writing this for rage bait and whatnot. Well, here's the thing. The other thing that keeps surprising me is how needlessly detailed it is. I know this is Blizzard and this is what it does, but at the same time, the game says NetEase, it loads up 2. But you do a dungeon and suddenly the boss fight turns out to be 3 stages. What? Wait, wasn't John like level 30? Isn't that what he said? No, John's 51. Okay. Okay, even at 51, there's no boss fight that's 3 stages. What the fuck is he talking about? Anyway, each one involving a big environmental change, and then there's a surprise bonus bit at the end. What? What? What the fuck is he talking about? What the actual fuck are you talking about, John? Did we play the same game? You do a dungeon, suddenly the boss fight turns out to be 3 stages, each one involving a big environmental change, then there's a surprise bonus bit at the end. What the fuck is he talking about? I have never seen any of this. I mean, I've seen some of the bosses have multiple stages, but none like what he's describing. Or maybe I'm just doing one of the bounties from the bounty board, and instead of kill 10 of those, which some are, turns out to be a whole little story, an investigation into a crime or something. This is just a blatant lie. This is just a straight up blatant lie. This doesn't happen. We didn't play the same game. This isn't disposable. This is a whole proper Blizzard game. Bullshit. It's odd because it really doesn't feel like playing Diablo at all. It feels maybe closer to World of Warcraft. Oh God. Yes, and all the tiny little animations and details out in the world too. I saw someone getting dragged to their death. It was a bit shocking and gruesome, and I was like, wait, this is on my iP... What? The fuck is he talking about? I saw someone getting dragged to their death. That's another thing I've never seen. What in the fuck? Wait, this is on my iPad. This is not the kind of game I expect to play for free on a tablet. Keep looking around thinking a cop will show up and arrest me for stealing this 60... Oh my God, dude. This is like this. That's what this is right now, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Gargle on Bobby Kotick's nuts, dude. Why don't you gargle on it some more? What the fuck? Dude, how much did these motherfuckers get paid for this article? Mentioned earlier, it's both on my telephone and my PC. I can generally walk away from my desk and just carry on playing on my phone, which is another very awesome thing about Immortal. You know what? If I paid $60 for it, I'd probably be a bit miffed at the graphics and how incredibly flaky and buggy it is. Forgiving a lot for the 0 entry free. This connects me so damn often. I've had it crash and but wow. Yet somehow you love this game. This shit hasn't happened to me at all. Also, the PC version is abysmal. Doesn't even have resolution settings and looks like what it is, a mobile game stretched far too thin onto a monitor. I can't actually play the PC version at the moment. It's too dark and the map keeps breaking, but the game doesn't even work properly on their PCs. What the fuck? Oh man, it's for sure not a thing. Hopefully it'll get improved. If not, the iPad version's been working well for me. If not, it doesn't matter. Fuck the PC people. We don't fucking care. Keep wondering why this game has broken some people online. Maybe it's because we have fucking standards, Zach. Because it has the word Diablo involved. I remember writing in 2011 about how heinous it was that Blizzard was forcing always on internet requirements for Diablo 3 and was roasted online for my dissent. What? 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 How were you roasted for complaining about the game being always online when that is literally what the Diablo fan base didn't want. If anything, the Diablo fan base would have stood behind you. Dude, this guy is full of shit. This guy is completely full of shit, dude. Then the game comes out and I say I'm having fun and I'm equally harassed. I think Diablo has a tendency to ironically drive people mad, and I'll admit that if this was the only Diablo game we knew Blizzard was working on, I'd be a bit sad. Diablo 4 is coming. Oh yeah, and thanks to people like you two fucks, it's going to be pay to win as hell. We've seen it, so I just don't get the weird army of angry fans seem hell-bent on attacking people who enjoy Immortal. I don't give a fuck about attacking people who enjoy Immortal. I give a fuck about people spending money on it, because that is basically giving Blizzard further ammunition to make the game worse. But is it? Will it ever really come out? Diablo 4, will it? If Blizzard hadn't wasted all its time making this really good free really very good free mobile game. Future Diablo next game, what happens next will be the perfect reason to do another VG chat. However, seeing as you are British, sarcasm is going to creep into this current chat. I think we should wrap it up. Also, Sinister Crest occur. I do assume Diablo 4 will one day be finished and released simply because Diablo's brand is immortal. I feel good that I ironically mock the people who haven't read this far and already leaving their comments rather than acknowledge your terrible joke. It's all one big joke to these people. Imagine people feeling the need to take a shit on you because you're passionate about something. Imagine, right? Imagine like, oh man, I really like this thing. This thing is awesome. And then two people just come over next to you and go like, fucking nerd, loser, idiot, piece of shit. That's basically what these guys are doing. Diablo's brand's immortal. My man wrote this while gargling on Class A Blizzard nuts. Yeah. This is completely and absolutely ridiculous, dude. What the actual fuck?